Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this press conference. We have translation, the same translation as you had before, but I just repeat it. English 1, French 2, Spanish 3, German 4, and Portuguese 5. You will have a press release, which is a summary of the Congress, but you have been here anyway, so you just follow that. We're gonna do today Q&As, so without any summaries and any statements from the gentlemen on the panel. We have our president, Sepp Blatter, then we have Jerome Walk, Secretary General. I'm not finished yet, give me just 1 second more. And we have Dr. Theo Zwanziger, who is here, of course, for all questions related to the reform process. So, once again, just tell us your name and the newspaper you're working for, and then we start. 1 question each, please, and we try to start. Well, Martin, you go first. Please, the microphone. Yes, first row, thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Blatter. Martin Ziegler from the Press Association. Can I just be absolutely clear? Are you a candidate for the FIFA presidential election next year?
Well, listen, you were at the Congress, I suppose. And you know that we have a new regulations, and the candidature period is not yet open, so nobody can be candidate now. So what I have said, and I repeat it, and I can repeat it every day, my mandate come to an end on the 31st, no, the 29th of May next year. But my mission is not yet finished. So ask me next year.
Was this clear? The next one here over there. Yes. No. Here. Yeah, the mic first. Tariq, here. Well, then you go. Here you go. Yes, please.
Owen Gibson from The Guardian. Mr. Blatter, you've always said you wanted to retain the human face of football and been against the use of video technology. What has changed your mind now at the age of 78?
Moi, je comprends rien. Moi, je sais rien. Je comprends rien. Ça ne marche pas. Mais c'est sérieux.
Que vous avez toujours été contre la technologie. Et qu'est-ce qui fait que vous changez d'idée à 78 ans?
We have some problem with the mic, so...
No, it's okay. It's okay for the question. Finally, I'm not fluent in English, but I wanted to be clear. Listen, I have also said the other day somewhere else, if you have a mind, you can also change the mind. And I think when I'm analyzing the football, we shall not only analyze it outside of the field of play, but also have it inside. And therefore, I think this call, I spoke with former footballers, former coaches. I think this is an idea. And I will have the possibility now, with the new organization of the IFAB, where we will have a technical panel of refereeing. I will bring this to the attention to the technical panel and the refereeing panel. Football panel and technical panel. And this will be a good discussion in the fall now. What can we or shall we do? And I think it is, you must have the feeling, and when you are looking so many matches of football, especially at the television, and you see now we will have 34 cameras here, and it's so evident what happened. And this is I think it's a good idea. If it is feasible or applicable, we will see in the future. But when I have an idea, generally, then I try to bring it through. Thank you.
Yes, the gentleman over there, and then we come to you. Yes, please.
Allô, je suis M. Kambiri Eli, de Côte d'Ivoire Supersport. Je voudrais demander au président si la gouvernance au niveau des institutions de football a encore un sens par rapport au renouvellement des générations.
When it comes to the renewal of generations, the proposal that was made, are we not installing a sort of a lifetime president in FIFA through that practice? A president for lifetime. Lifetime president.
Now, this has nothing to do with the presidency of FIFA, ladies and gentlemen. This is a process for the reform which has started in 2011, and it has been discussed several times with all the stakeholders of FIFA. And we have been in all confederations, we have been with all national associations. And they came out with a very specific proposal concerning the age limit. It was generally accepted everywhere in the world that age limit is discrimination, not only in football, in all activities in your life. The second, the only valid proposal that came out for limit of mandates from one of the confederations, but they said it is only valid for one person, only for the FIFA president. And this obviously has been rejected already 2 years ago by all the other members of the EXCO and also by the confederation. Today, we are 1 year late. We should have taken this decision already 1 year ago. The result would have been the same. And this has nothing, a lifetime presidency. This is not linked with that. It is linked to the procedure. If what the procedure would have done, and I agree, and I support it. I supported the idea of Mr. Zwanziger. There should be a limit in mandates, but it's too late to change that. It's the resolution or the decision has been taken already 2 years ago. Why? Because one of the confederations, they wanted to confine this limit of mandates only for one office, and the office of the FIFA president. And this was not accepted.
Darf ich mir erlauben, an dieser Stelle ein paar Fakten noch einmal, was den Reformprozess betrifft, hinzuzufügen. Ein Reformprozess besteht aus vielen Maßnahmen.
It's made up of many measures. We have 5 elements, 5 basic elements, which were important to the Statutes Committee. And the first one, as I presented, is that the entire financial aspects will be controlled via an audit body, that we have clear flows of money, and that the experts of compliance will expect exactly that from such a big institution. It is not obligatory for FIFA. Still, we decided to have it. And what you heard from the independent head of this committee, Mr. Scala, is the first important element to say that we are certainly further now than we were at the beginning of the process. And the second element has to do with the bid and the attribution of the World Cup 2010. And there has been criticism against the FIFA Executive Committee and FIFA in general, and this has continued until today. Furthermore, it was decided by a small body of 22 people in a secret ballot. Now, regardless of whether unethical behavior was there or not, this is always a problem, because you know who did vote for someone and in the past did that, and whether you will want to support other people in this room. Now, This can happen. This has happened in the past in other institutions, and this decision is the most important decision beyond the election of the president, so it has to be done there where it belongs. This is in Congress after a pre-examination which is clean and clear, and now voting via Congress will clear this up. Furthermore, anybody who wants to be an official with FIFA and wants to come into office in FIFA, he will have to go through an integrity check. So anybody who has a bad track record in a negative sense cannot be an official of FIFA. And then the fourth point, which is very important for me, it has to do with the violations of the obligations of the officials, of the president, ExCo members, have you. They also will have to make a declaration which is looked into by the Ethics Committee, where it says what is expected. In the past there was this expectations, but there was no instrument to check and then clear up a case and take or resort to the consequences. And now we have two chambers in this body with independent people, and nowhere can you find this in the private organization. Not even countries and governments have this separation of powers in such a clear way. So this is going to be guaranteed anyway. If these independents do their work properly, and I trust Mr. Garcia and I trust Judge Eckert that they will do their work properly. And now let's come to the last point, and this already had a problem in January 2013. The European members, meaning the members of UEFA, sent a declaration in writing to FIFA, and it read as follows: we just want the age limit, and for the FIFA president we want the limit of terms in office. So nobody else in the executive committee would be concerned by that. So that means that the other confederations, and you have different cultures in the different confederations. You hear the voices here. If somebody says Nelson Mandela was an old man, so this is an emotional element. So they are in favor of that, and the age limit was no more any important subject, and I think it is right. Now, the term of office, limitation of term of office, that would have been the fifth goal, and I would have loved to score it, but in the discussion we had and the exchange of opinions, yes, it's someone we could, but then a transitory measure perhaps, and so forth, we had too many dissenting views. And also there's the drive of the president. Since he did not move further in the executive committee, then it was a second try, and we tried it again here. And I see no drama in that. There's so many possibilities to correct anything. And if people want to vote for someone who's been in office for 30 years, and those who are entitled to vote are voting for this person, that's all right, as long as this man is an integral person. So I know exactly how things are being looked at, and I have so many years of professional experience. I think we have made a long headway here in FIFA. We've been moving forward. I didn't believe it would go so quickly at the beginning of this process. These are strong confederations, other cultures, other basic reasonings, and that you suddenly have a three-quarter majority for that. And the limitation of term of mandate has not succeeded. But even if it had been different, the result of the vote, we would have worked on it and made a proposal for next year. But this is the way it is, and let me say that I'm quite happy with it.
Question here, yes, you already have the mic.
Hi, this is Ben Rumsby from the Daily Telegraph. Can I just say, first of all, it isn't often we get to question Mr. Blatter, so perhaps if we can just have his answers for the rest of this press conference, that would be hugely appreciated. I have two questions. One is, do you back Mr. Garcia when he says anyone who did not cooperate with his investigation should face some kind of sanction, even if that includes Franz Beckenbauer? And second question, do you really believe that the British media has acted with racism over their investigations? And do you believe the media is out to destroy FIFA?
Bon, je ne vous donne pas de réponse sur la première question de M. Garcia parce que ça c'est une affaire de la commission d'éthique et cette commission d'éthique est indépendante. Et si nous avons déjà la séparation des pouvoirs à la FIFA, eh ben, je pense qu'il faut la maintenir. Donc le directeur ou le président de l'exécutif ne doit pas se prononcer là-dessus. Sur la deuxième question, je n'y reviens pas. Ce que j'avais dit, c'était que dans les médias...
And that was already in the media. The impression was given. And if you have seen today the reaction of the Africans, and there was no comment saying that there was any kind of racism. I didn't have this impression.
Yes, please.
Mr. Blatter over here. Mr. Blatter, Brian Swanson from Sky Sports News. Would appreciate an answer in your excellent English, if that's possible. Former FA Chairman Lord Treisman has said today that FIFA behaves like a mafia family. What's your reaction to that? Is that fair?
I try to say it in English. I try. You know, Lord Treisman is responsible for what he says. I am not going to comment any saying of Lord Treisman.
Mr. Blatter, Tariq Panja from Bloomberg News. You're using your quotes from your closing speech. You said to your members, "I tell you together, we will build the new FIFA." And then you suggested that you're the man to accompany them for the future of the game and for the world. Can I just ask you, you've been with FIFA as a development officer since 1975. You were then made General Secretary in '81, and you were the FIFA president since 1998. That's 16 years. It seems strange that you will be the person to build the new FIFA and take this organization forward. What was wrong with the old FIFA, and why are you the person who they need to take it forward? Thank you.
I thank you for the recollection of all the dates, what I have already been and done in FIFA. If you were listening to my introductory, the presidential speech, then you would have listened that we are not in a new FIFA. We have to adapt the FIFA on the new times where we are living it. And this is exactly what I have said in the official speech. We have to adapt the FIFA in the new times. And if at the end there was something which you could interpretation in the other manner, I stick on what was in the document. It has circulated, I do hope. You gave the document to all media, and you will see it's not a new FIFA. It is that we have to adapt the FIFA to the new times.
Yes, please, here.
Yeah, Mr. Blatter. Good evening, Mike Collett from Reuters. You said to us earlier that you would not declare your candidacy for the presidency again now because it was not yet open. The procedure was not yet open. Yet, Jérôme Champagne has already declared 3 months ago that he will run for the presidency of FIFA. So why can he declare his bid and you will not officially announce your bid? Thank you.
It's really an intelligent question because when he started with his candidature, there was no regulations how to become the FIFA president. They have just been accepted today. They will now be circulated. And we have now also a so-called elective board, an electoral committee. And this electoral committee, composed by 3 persons, will now go into those candidates. They are already on the field of play before we had the relevant document.
Richard Conway from BBC.
No. Sorry. Florian, please.
Florian Bauer, ARD Fernsehen. Herr Blatter, Sie haben ja in den letzten Tagen Florian Bauer,
from ARD, Florian Bauer, ARD Germany TV. Mr. Blatter, over the last few years, over the last few days, you have felt that people are against you, which is quite unusual considering the last 16 years. And in the UEFA meeting and in the other countries as well, could you imagine that a situation could build up where you say next year, I'm not running for president? Well, whether I run or not is to be seen. First, we have this period of candidature. This period has not yet started, and I've had to accept quite a number of blows, and something like this, lacking respect like what I saw and heard in the UEFA meeting, I have not had in my entire life on the pitch as a football player or in any kind of institution. And why?
Question number 10, and I was just wondering if anybody is interested in football. Tomorrow we have the opening, so if someone has a football question, yes? Jamil, please, and then we go on.
Thank you. Mr. Blatter, Jamil Shah, Sao Paulo. Tomorrow the World Cup starts. Can you tell us, what was the most difficult thing in the last 7 years here in Brazil, besides us, the press, certainly? And Mr. Volker, yes. And Mr. Volker, can you tell us the votes today on each resolution? Just for transparency matters, the numbers. Thank you.
In the past 7 years, I have had no problems in Brazil. I was not so often in Brazil, and I have followed all what has been done or not done in Brazil. Now we are at the eve of the opening, and I'm happy that tomorrow we have the kickoff, and then everybody will be in the game, and I'm sure all the population of Brazil also will have the time to go in. I like Brazil. I always liked Brazil. Also, when I was not the president, I was the Secretary General when I was working with João Avalanche, 98 years old now. So Brazil is for me a country of football, and now we are at the eve to start. And let's start tomorrow, and then we will see. Ask me at the end of the competition what was my feeling to the competition. Thank you.
Ja, vielleicht eine kurze Bemerkung zu dem Wahlverfahren.
A short comment on the electoral process. When in an open vote you have scrutineers, 8 scrutineers, counting differently colored ballot papers or papers. They get an optical impression of the majority or minority, and when that is clear, when there is an obvious majority, then there is no individual count. It is just being said that the motion has been accepted or rejected. And I saw this image in front of me during the voting process. And we saw quite clearly that when it came to the age limit, the huge majority was against this motion, and I was clearly convinced that this was not the case.
Questions, we go here to Rodrigo, please. Mike.
Rodrigo Matos from WAL. Time's up. It's tomorrow. We saw the stadium in Sao Paulo. There's a lot of kind of problems in finishing things and running things. We saw a lot of infrastructure works, running things in whole Brazil and the stadiums. So now that time's up, I would like to know what's the impact of these things that won't be ready or that will be ready like anyway ready in the life of the supporters and the media and everybody that will use the facilities. What will be the impact on the things that have been done for the last hour, anyway being done?
This is a question for Jerome Bach. Please.
Yes, thanks. I mean, all is done and will be done in the 12 host cities and stadiums for you, the media. I mean, we have been working hard. I don't think that our team has slept a lot over the last days or weeks, and all will be ready for you, the media, as all the facilities, meaning the facilities inside the stadiums, including food and beverage, would be at the disposal of all the fans in the stadium. If in some cities there are some of the infrastructures which are not finished, as we have seen in some of the cities, it is work which was not directly related to the World Cup. It can impact maybe the day-to-day life of the fans in the cities, but has nothing to do with the World Cup. It's part of these projects which will be delivered after the World Cup, as it was already discussed and explained by the government, Brazilian government. Having said that, it's true that Itaquera Stadium, I mean, we are still working on, but now, you know, you just need to put some flowers and nice trees around and it will look beautiful. So it's a question of details, and I can tell you that the team, the FIFA team, as a local organizing committee team, are ready to make sure that nothing will happen. And it's not any more time to say what's this, what that. I mean, we are now in the delivery and the 24 hours before the opening game, so we just have to make it, and we'll make it.
Last question in the first row. Yes, please.
Thanks. Sergei Demidov at Artas. Question to Mr. Walker or Mr. Blatter. Last week, Russian Football Union followed recommendations from FIFA and delayed affiliation of Crimean clubs and federations. FIFA, on letter to Russian Football Union, said it needs some time to fully analyze situation. Can you say how much time FIFA needs to approve or not approve affiliation of clubs? And did you have any meetings with the members of Russian Football Union or Ukrainian football federations here in Sao Paulo?
Hein?
Je vous en prie, vous êtes le président.
Oui, je réponds. You know, this is not such an easy problem that can be solved by a telephone between two personalities and to say we want to play there. It is statutes and regulations of FIFA, and for the time being, internationally, Crimea is still part of the Republic of Ukraine, and therefore these teams, they are entitled, or they have to, if they want to play football in the league. Actually, they must play with the league of Ukraine. There has been no talks about this here in Sao Paulo, but we have had a common stand on this situation with the UEFA, because it is two associations in UEFA, but to make a change of an association and of clubs from one association to the other, it needs also the support and the blessing of the FIFA. But for the time being, it is absolutely open, and there is no movement so far in this item.
Thank you very much. That's it. We close here. I remind you that we have a daily media briefing starting tomorrow 10:30 at the stadiums, and then from 13th on in Rio de Janeiro in Maracanã Stadium. See you there, and good opening tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you for your interest. Have a nice evening and enjoy tomorrow the opening game. Thank you.